Right. Okay, good morning. Oh, I just need to mute. Haven't done that. There we go. Okay. So this morning, what we're going to do is focus on our Manipura chakra. We're going to start by standing up. So we are a day away from the summer solstice. And it's a really nice time to be able to celebrate the light. And in class actually yesterday evening, we were talking about the fact that actually it can feel quite sad as well. And it's only been in recent years where I've experienced that sadness, because we're knowing that we are at the longest point in terms of light and we're going to start moving slowly towards the dark again. And I think whilst there is a sadness there, it's how can we embrace that feeling? So within yoga and within faith systems such as Christianity, there is an invitation to accept, to just accept what it is that we find. And that's what we're required to do with the seasons, just to follow the seasons and to accept that that is how it is. And what is it? The bigger question for acceptance really is, what is it that gets in the way of acceptance? And often it's a variety of different emotions. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a tickly nose. I'm just going to get. So you might like to, if this chimes for you at all, this idea of acceptance and being perhaps finding that a little bit tricky, as we go through the flow this morning, perhaps meditate on that. So that's the invitation for this morning, is, or whenever it is that you're practicing this particular session, is to meditate, breathe into the idea of acceptance and any areas that feel stuck, where you can feel this energetic sticking. Breathe into that, and sometimes, particularly when we're moving the body, we can release things and emotion can arise, and that's when we get this a deeper learning, a deeper understanding of who we are and how we tick. So we are going to start standing. So come to the top of the mat and come into Tadasana so that the feet are sitting underneath the shoulders. Lift up the toes, spread them wide, and then place them back down on the mat. And then lengthen out through the soles of the feet. So you can just lift the heels slightly, one at a time, and then place them back down onto the mat. So you can feel that the whole of the sole of the foot is in contact with the mat. And then press into the big toe, and you'll feel the arch, your inner arch, lift slightly. So we're just supporting the arch within the foot as well. So pressing down into all four corners of the feet. And as you do that, feel the knees rise and your quad muscles become toned, and then get a sense of spiraling the thigh muscles in. Excuse me. And as you do that, tuck the tailbone. So allow that tailbone to drop slightly. So we're feeling nice and strong through the legs and into the pelvic area. Then we can feel up into the upper body and feel this lightness. And maybe just allow yourself to swing. So the hips are not moving. So it's just from the waist. So see if you can isolate and allow the movement to come from the waist as opposed to the hips. And what we're doing here is Manipura chakra sits here at the just above the navel center, just here, which is where the solar plexus muscle nerve system gathers. So this soft movement is beginning to warm up, to wake up Manipura chakra. And we're going to practice a whole series of sun salutations as a way of I was going to say welcoming, but being thankful, showing gratitude for the sun and all that it offers us, its life-giving qualities. So now let's just allow the arms to come to stillness, and we're going to drop into Ujjayi breath. So find your breath. So that may initially mean that you want to start with your belly breathing, or you may want to come actually, rather than belly breathing, I think we'll come to diaphragmatic breath. So coming to diaphragmatic breath, so you can feel the diaphragm coming up and down, and we're breathing in through the navel center. So just settling, and if it helps you, you can pop your hand on the belly, just resting above the belly button. Breathing into all four corners of the lungs. Okay, so now that you're in a rhythm with diaphragmatic breath, let's move to Ujjayi. So Ujjayi, that's drawing in at the throat center so that you can hear the breath. So we're going to practice 8 rounds. Four more rounds. So hear and feel the breath running over the top of the windpipe. Okay, continue with that breath. Let's begin. So inhale, the arms come up and gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, hands come down. It takes 8 rounds of this movement. So this is number 2. So using your breath. 6 more rounds. Using this to practice your Ujjayi breath. Warming up through the shoulders. One more. Okay, so keep it flowing. We're going to come into a half sun salutation now. Exhale, fold forward, fingers come down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Inhaling, lifting up, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, so 7 more rounds. Using Ujjayi. So inhaling, exhale. Inhale, float up. Exhale, float back down. Inhaling. Exhale, 3 rounds completed. Let the breath lift you in your movements. As you fold, soften the knees. Soften the knees again as you fold, pressing through the feet. Gaze to thumbs. And let's do one more round. Allow the hands to rest at the heart center for a moment. Staying with your Ujjayi breath. Two more rounds of Ujjayi, and then we're going to come into Surya Namaska A. So that's sun salutation. Taking the arms down by the sides. So allow yourself to settle into Tadasana. And let's take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to halfway. Step back into plank. Or come to half plank. Exhale, come down onto the mat. And lift up into cobra. Exhale, come back down, tuck the toes. Make your way through tabletop and into downward facing dog. Inhaling, looking forward. Right leg lead, step forward to the top of the mat, exhale. Inhale, come up with a nice long back. Exhale. So we're going to lead on the left-hand side this time, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, stepping into your plank, left side. Then maybe coming down, knees chest chin, or knees rolling down, come onto the mat. Lift into cobra. Come down to the mat, press your way into tabletop, and then up into downward facing dog. Gazing forward, inhaling the left foot forward, step forward, and fall down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so for those of you that might be using this on catch up, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, and we're going to miss out the tabletop, but I wanted us to just run through that version using tabletop, so that if you find that you're getting out of breath or it's too strong for you, you can come back to that and practice at a slower pace. And also remember, when we come into plank, you don't have to be in full plank, of course. You can be in either half plank or in tabletop. So it's using those modifications to suit your own strength and energy in the moment. Okay, so coming back to Tadasana. So settling back down again, finding the grounded nature, and then finding your breath. Breathing back into Ujjayi. And as I said at the beginning of the class, using the flow and the breath, so the breath in particular, flowing with the movement to focus inwards and maybe finding some space to explore acceptance in your life and how that reveals itself. Okay, let's begin. Inhale. Exhale, float your way down. Inhale, lift to halfway. Exhale, step back into plank. Come down onto the mat and inhale into cobra. Tuck the toes and come into downward facing dog. Looking forward, inhale, the right leg comes high, step forward and fall down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, hands down through the midline. Inhaling. So we're going to keep the flow going. Come to halfway. Hands come to the mat and you step back into plank. Come down and then inhale. Cobra. Up into downward facing dog. Inhaling, the left foot leads to step forward. Fall down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. So keep it flowing, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, stepping back into plank. Come down and then lift into cobra on the inhale. Back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg forward, step forward, fall down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Opposite leg, inhaling. Float your way down. Lift to halfway. Step back into your plank and lower. Inhale, lift into Bhujangasana. Exhale into downward facing dog. Raising that left leg first to lead, step forward, fall down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhaling. Really focusing on your breath. You know the rhythm. Right leg rises to step forward, to lead forward. Fall down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhaling, gaze to thumbs. Fall down. What is it you need to accept that perhaps you feel resistance for or with? What is that? What is it that's stopping you? Allow your unconscious mind to offer the solutions. So when we're moving our body and focusing on our breath, the brain, the frontal lobe, can take a rest. And we can allow other parts of the brain to engage. And that's invariably the unconscious mind. So allowing the unconscious mind to whisper to you. Left leg rises and leads to step forward. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. So just one more round, inhaling. Exhale, float down. lift to halfway. Exhale, step back into your plank. Come down through your knees, chest, chin, and then make your way into downward facing dog, stepping forward and fold down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, left hands down to the midline and rest here. So that was fast. So allow the breath to settle, the heartbeat to return to its normal rhythm. Just release the hands down by the sides, coming into Tadasana. So feeling the heat rising. So Surya Namaska, when it's practiced in this way, is a really warming practice. Great for energizing the body, cleansing the mind. And it's the breath that helps to cleanse the mind. The breath is so important in yoga practice, pranayama. Without the breath, all you're doing is moving. And it could be any other sort of aerobic form of workout. But it's when we really focus in on the breath, the intention of the breath, because we're moving prana, energy, moving energy around the body. We're connecting with the universe, connecting with the world around us, connecting with the life-giving source from the sun. So from Tadasana, we're going to come down onto the mat. So let's take a ragdoll down. So dipping the chin down towards the sternum. Allow the arms to be floppy. Take them away from the side of the torso. And then begin to roll down. So have the knees soft. Give the arms a bit of a wiggle as you come down so they're loose and it's as though they can swing in the socket at the shoulder. Allow the head and the neck to be heavy. That can begin to join in. So you're gradually deepening the knees and then allow the sit bones to come down to the mat and come onto your mat. So we're going to take a little counter pose for the lower back. So we'll bend at the knees and fold forward. Rest the belly onto the thighs and look forward. And then begin to lengthen out through the legs. So as you lengthen through the legs, you may need to keep a slight bend in the knee. Aiming to really lengthen through the back. So continue to look forward for the time being, lifting the heart center a little bit, but folding here at the hip. Nice and long in the spine. Maybe just tucking that chin in slightly so that you're not cranking through the neck. Got some length, the back of the neck. Deepen, folding deeper. So fold as deeply as you can so that you can feel the opening here down in the top of the pelvis. And then inhale yourself back up. Okay, and we're just going to lay ourselves down for a minute or two to explore how the body feels in corpse pose. And this is to allow the body to settle, to recalibrate and to integrate the practice just that little bit more. So make sure the arms are away from the sides of the body, particularly if it's warm in your room, so you can allow the air to circulate. around into armpits, around the legs, tops of the thighs. Make any adjustments that you need to that may allow the shoulders to just soften that little bit more into the mat. We're just going to take a minute to breathe into our bodies again. So breathe back in through your through the navel center. So no longer in ujjayi, simply using your diaphragmatic breath. Okay, so bring yourself back into your space, and we're going to bring ourselves up to an easy, comfortable seat. So do that in a way that is kind to your body. So no need to rush to come to sit up. So just finding that space and that place. And just feeling into your sit bones so that you've got a nice long tall spine. Let's just inhale the arms up and overhead. And then bring the palms together, gaze to the thumbs, and exhale the hands down. And spend one moment in gratitude for all that the sun offers us, this amazing ball of energy that is so many millions of miles away, and yet we feel it. It's enriching energy. So being thankful that each day the sun rises, we begin a new day. And taking your energy out into the day with you this morning. Thank you for a lovely practice. Namaste.